Pakistan's democratically elected Prime Minister Imran Khan was overthrown in a political coup in April 2022, and the United States supported that coup. It was a parliamentary coup, very similar to the congressional coup against Peru's President Pedro Castillo this December. And in that coup in April of 2022, Imran Khan publicly criticized the United States. He said that the U.S. government had been supporting the coup against him, trying to get members of parliament to vote against him, allegedly bribing and threatening members to vote against him. There were photos of the U.S. ambassador and U.S. diplomats meeting with opposition lawmakers in the lead up to the parliamentary coup. And the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for South Asian and Central Asian Affairs, Donald Lu, he admitted that the United States had been pressuring Imran Khan because Imran Khan had been neutral over the proxy war in Ukraine and refused to condemn Russia. Now, Imran Khan had said that the coup against him was because of his independent foreign policy, specifically his close alliance with China, his growing alliance with Russia, his refusal to recognize apartheid Israel, and his support for the Palestinian people. And he also increasingly had been trying to grow closer to Iran. And today I want to talk about comments that Imran Khan made this December about Iran, praising Iran for its independent foreign policy and its defense of its people's sovereignty.
The people of Iran might have suffered, but they haven't lost their dignity. We might disagree with their worldview of Islam, but you cannot disagree with them standing for their sovereignty. So, I admire that about them.
And he compared the coup against him in April 2022 to the infamous CIA coup against Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh in 1953. And Imran Khan pointed out that Mossadegh was overthrown because he had been independent, like Imran Khan, and because he tried to take actions that went against the interests of Western governments and their corporations and acted on behalf of the Iranian people. Imran Khan very clearly said that the same tactics used against Mossadegh in Iran were the tactics also used against Imran Khan in the coup in April.
In Iran, during Mohammad Mossadegh's premiership, and his government was removed, and this is now documented, was removed by the CIA. And it was because an independent-minded prime minister took over in Iran and wanted to make policies for the interest of the people of Iran. So it was a very similar pattern followed when my government was dismissed.
So where did Imran Khan make these comments? Well, I have an article that I published about this, and I will link to it in the description below. As always, it has all of the sources and all the links, and it also has a transcript of the comments that Imran Khan made. In this video and podcast today, I'll be including the clips from the interview. But these were comments that were made by Imran Khan in an interview that he did on December 28th, with a think tank called the Center for Islam and Global Affairs, CIGA, and that is a think tank based in Istanbul, Turkey, formerly known as Turkey. And in this very fascinating interview, Imran Khan also reaffirmed his support for the Palestinian people. He stressed he will never recognize the Israeli apartheid regime.
Pakistan would not accept or would not recognize Israel as long as the people of Palestine were not given justice. So the United States being a superpower, every country wants to have a good relationship with them. So the temptation is that if you recognize Israel, you will have a good relationship with the US. But the problem in Pakistan is that it's a democratic country. And anyone who wants to go to the people, he knows that the public will never accept any head of state who's recognized Israel.
He stressed the importance of sovereignty as the most important issue for a country, and he criticized the US-dominated International Monetary Fund, the IMF, for limiting the sovereignty of countries, developing countries like Pakistan, and making them dependent. He criticized the legacy of Western colonialism, which he said that is one of the reasons that countries in the global South have been stuck in poverty.
You see, the problem, most of the developing world, or what you call the ex-colonies, all of us, the problems we faced are the same. We have struggled to establish rule of law, justice. I mean, justice means rule of law. Rule of law means that everyone is equal before the law. And when you have colonialism, basically the colonials are above law. And in Pakistan, unfortunately, and like most of the developing, like most of the ex-colonial countries, when they got their independence, the rulers mostly took the role of the colonizers, and they put themselves above law. And so when you do not have rule of law, corruption becomes one of the biggest symptoms of lack of rule of law, because the powerful elite goes above law, and when they start making money, the state institutions cannot check the corruption. You know, the problem about Muslim world is that, you know, we are still evolving. We are coming out of colonialism. We haven't found our feet. And if you depend on foreign loans and IMF, you would never really learn how to stand on your own feet. So a sovereign country is the key for success.
So comments like these, of course, explain why the United States would back a coup against a very independent nationalist leader like Imran Khan. I should mention that since the coup against him, the Pakistani coup regime backed by the US, which is deeply corrupt and has not been elected, it has refused to hold elections. The coup regime, it banned the transmission of all public speeches by Imran Khan, and then it started violently, brutally repressing the massive protests. There have been enormous protests across Pakistan against the coup in support of Imran Khan, or at the very least against the coup regime. And the coup regime has violently repressed those, just like the coup regime backed by the US in Peru has killed dozens of protesters. Furthermore, the Pakistani coup regime absurdly charged Imran Khan with terrorism on completely baseless charges. And in November, there was an assassination attempt against Imran Khan. He was shot in the leg by a gunman. So if people want to get more information about the coup and everything that has happened, in the description below, I will include a link to an interview that I did with the Pakistani writer and academic who's a brilliant intellectual, Junaid Ahmad, and he explains more of the details about the coup. So without further ado, I now want to go to some of these clips of the former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, comparing the coup against him to the infamous CIA coup in Iran in 1953, and also praising Iran for its independence and sovereignty. If you like this work that I do, please consider supporting me over at Patreon, and I will see you all next time. Thanks a lot.